We all have different ideas of success. A good example of this is Kyrie Irving. Because in a time of the NBA, when all the superstars want to team up in order to win rings, Kyrie's looking to do the opposite. He wants to be his own man. He wants to be the #1 option. He wants to be the guy in the franchise. And for whatever reason, he feels like he could never accomplish that in Cleveland as long as LeBron's around. So regardless of his motives, what was thought to be unthinkable 2 months ago has now become a reality. Kyrie Irving is now a member of the Boston Celtics, a team who him and the rest of the Cavaliers had just got through facing in the Eastern Conference Finals not 3 or 4 months ago. It shows you just how quickly things can change in the world of sports. But the question is, just how much does Kyrie wearing Celtics green change the landscape of the NBA? While Kyrie may have complained about playing sidekick to LeBron James, when you look on paper, that can't be any farther from the truth. Kyrie was able to average 25.2 points per game, which was a career high, while also dropping 5.8 assists per game. That means he was responsible for well over 35 points per game, which is almost identical to the points responsible for LeBron James in the past season. And this isn't even to mention during the NBA Finals in 2017 when he upped his scoring average to 29.4 points per game, which is actually a drop from over 30 points per game in the Finals the previous year. And his production on the Cavs wasn't just obvious on paper, it was also obvious on the court simply watching the game. It was very clear that oftentimes in the regular season, LeBron would take a back seat and let Kyrie do a lot of the work, especially even in clutch situations. If you go back and watch Cavaliers possessions under a minute in regular season and playoff games, a lot of times Kyrie was the one initiating the offense, not LeBron James. Those simple facts alone should show you exactly how much Kyrie meant to the Cleveland Cavaliers and specifically their offensive production. And make no mistake, he'll be greatly missed by the Cavaliers, especially come playoff time when LeBron's a little gassed. Even though Isaiah Thomas is my boy, and I don't want to get too far into that because this video is about Kyrie. Now, as far as how Kyrie fits in Boston, he's definitely going to get what he wished for. Boston didn't unload all their assets for no reason. They're going to make Kyrie the face of the franchise, regardless of the Gordon Hayward signing earlier in the offseason. Kyrie will be handed the keys to the offense, no doubt, and be asked to initiate every offensive possession. Now, the one thing that will have to be adjusted is Brad Stevens' offense is not made for a lot of ISO. I still believe Kyrie will fit in well because there was spots in the offense that were set up specifically for Isaiah Thomas to be able to get a shot off the dribble. So you can expect a ton more plays similar to that specifically for Kyrie to be able to come off and use his handle to break down the defense and get inside and penetrate, which is what he does best. Now, don't get me wrong, Gordon Hayward is still going to have a huge role in the offense. I just don't really see him as the same type of go-to scorer as Kyrie. But I will say that a duo of Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving is going to be very deadly and hard to guard because both can go get a bucket when they need to. So it's going to be hard to decide which one you're going to focus in on defense. And the defense picks Kyrie, which I'm sure they will most of the time, to focus in on. It's definitely going to lead to big nights for Gordon Hayward, who has been extremely underrated his entire career. Now, I know I've only mentioned Hayward, but the Celtics have a lot of other pieces that are going to be helpful as well that they didn't give up in the trade. Specifically, Al Horford to start with is a big guy that can spread the floor with his shooting ability, and that's going to be very helpful for Kyrie to clear out that paint, bring a big guy out of the paint to have to stretch out and guard Horford, and that's going to open up a lot of lanes for Kyrie to attack and drive. And then on the wing, you have the two young fellas, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, who looked awesome in Summer League. Specifically, Jaylen Brown looked like a whole nother player. He was consistently getting his shot off the dribble. He was knocking down catch and shoot shots, and he's going to need to step up in a bigger role now that Crowder's out of the picture. Tatum is a little different story because I feel like he is going to have an adjustment period to the NBA, but he looked really good in the Summer League, and he looked a lot more polished than a lot of second-year guys, and I think he's going to have a big impact probably coming off the bench for the Celtics in his first year. I feel like Kyrie, being the young player that he is, only 25 years old, is the perfect centerpiece that the Celtics have been waiting for to give up those assets and build around. and I can't think of many better players to do so. I know you don't need a scouting report on Kyrie. I'm sure many of you have seen the countless mixtapes on YouTube showing his abilities, but the guy is one of the hardest players, if not the hardest player in the NBA to guard. You can't stay in front of him. He has handles like the NBA has never seen. He's a great shooter and has really come a long way as a defender as well, which is something the Celtics will benefit from that they didn't have with Isaiah Thomas at the helm. Of course, I think the bottom line of this whole trade on both sides between the Celtics and the Cavs is now who leads that race for the Eastern Conference champions, who leads that race for the #1 seed, because now you have a team in the Celtics who was very close last year, and then once the playoff rolled around, they kind of ran out of gas. Isaiah got hurt, all that type of stuff, but now you have them rejuvenated. They have 2 new star players, gave up Isaiah and another key player in Avery Bradley, who they sent to the Pistons, but they still have a lot of those core pieces. And now the Cavaliers, who are almost a whole new team and have had some struggles this offseason and some drama, and you don't really know what LeBron's going to do. So is this the chance for the Celtics to slide in the back door here and overcome the Cavs, and maybe we have a break in the Warriors-Cavs final series that we've had the last few years, and maybe this year it's a new team coming out of the East? Now, I know it's hard to bet against LeBron, so that's why I'm not going to do it. But I am going to say this. I think the Celtics have a way better shot than any team has had in a long time to overcome a LeBron James team and make it to the NBA Finals out of the East. So personally, I hope both teams make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, because I want to see a Cavalier-Celtic 7-game series, Kyrie and LeBron going at it, Isaiah Thomas going back at his old team for getting rid of him, Derrick Rose trying to revive his career over the course of the season. I want to see this series play out, and it makes for good, entertaining basketball, and what more can you look for as an NBA fan? Looking back on this whole series of events, it's been a crazy development from that first rumor, that first day that they announced that Kyrie wanted to trade, and it shocked everybody, to now where he's a member of the Boston Celtics, which seems like something straight out of a franchise mode in NBA 2K. It's been a crazy offseason. I'm excited to see how everything plays out. Lots of new players on new teams, lots of stars on new teams, and it's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out. I think it's hard to bet against the Warriors coming out of the West, but it's going to be a lot more difficult for them. I will say in the East, it's a little more of a toss-up now. I still think the Cavs have the best shot, but don't sleep on the Celtics. I think Kyrie's exactly the star player they've been missing, and he's going to get the chance he's wanted to be the star player. It's going to come down to how he performs, and he wanted this, so we're going to see exactly what Uncle Drew's made of. I want to thank you for watching this video. Thank you for your constant support. I ask you please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and leave feedback in the comment section below. I want to thank you again for watching. Don't forget to connect with me on social media. I love connecting with subscribers and talking hoops. I don't want to take any more time out of your day. God bless.